Adam, it's game week, and we're excited about obviously a game. We talked about that yesterday. Coach Prime had his presser today, and the media, we were kind of talking beforehand, like what percent chance is there that Coach Prime's actually going to name the starting quarterback? And you and I were like, I think you said 20%. Like, yeah, there's a few. Scott Proctor said 0.0% chance. And then within the first minute of his press conference, Coach Prime announces Kaidon Salter as the starting quarterback. Had to laugh at Scott a little bit, but it's good to know. I mean, I was surprised he let us know, but it's good to know.
Yeah, I was basing my low percentage on what Coach Prime had told us at Big 12 Media Days about the fact it just doesn't benefit them. And you've gotten so close to the opener that I was like, okay, I'm not going to expect that at this point. But yeah, no, I wouldn't quite go 0.0. But no, we love Scott. He's a good guy. Especially when you say that Julian Lewis might play in the game, Georgia Tech at least has to look at that, right? Yeah. So I think it was obvious, and we talked about it yesterday, that everybody expects it to be Kaidon Salter, so it's really not that big of an advantage to sit on that till Friday.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think anybody that's followed Well Off throughout the month, Well Off Media, it's pretty obvious. I mean, the first team reps have mostly been Kaidon Salter, and at least I haven't seen anything with Kaidon with the second team. You don't see a whole lot with Julian with the first. So I wasn't surprised at all. I was surprised he announced it, but it's good to know, and I like it. I mean, I think I'm excited for Kaidon. I think that it's obviously a new era for CU without Shedeur. I'm excited for what Kaidon does.
Well, it would have been tough for him based on the success he's had in college for his last year of eligibility to not get that opportunity. Right now, he had to come in and earn it, and he's done exactly that. And really the special thing with him is going to show itself on game days. It's with dual threat quarterbacks in practice because you're not getting hit. It's just sometimes hard to really look as dynamic as you're going to be when guys actually have to tackle you and catch up to you, more so than just getting a hand on you. So that part of it, it makes a lot of sense, and just what we've expected all along was the dual threat capabilities there is going to open up so much for this offense. And there is no question that Julian Lewis is the future of that position. So it's still a healthy room. Those two guys, Kaidon Salter and Julian Lewis, have a really close relationship, big brother, little brother type relationship. And then you've got that third guy that if you had to put in a game, you'd feel comfortable with. So it's a really good situation given that you just lost Deion Sanders. To have those three guys in this program at that position going into the season, you got to feel really good about.
Yeah, I mean, considering who you lost, I'm not sure you could ask for a better quarterback situation than what they have right now. And to Caden's credit, he told me at Big 12 Media Day in July, he's like, look, I didn't come here expecting to earn it, or expecting to be the starter. I knew I had to come in and compete and earn it. So he's had that mindset all along. I didn't know this, and maybe it's my fault for not knowing this, but I didn't realize that Coach Prime has known the Salter family for a number of years. Did you know that Kaidon Salter apparently played for the Truth Academy?
Just that there was some connection back in the day, so it was cool to kind of hear him expound on that. And I think he said something like he's known the parents for 15 years or something like that. So quite a relationship they've developed over time. And those guys that have been in that Truth program growing up, Coach Prime has continued to look after those guys down the road, and so it kind of falls in line with just that. He's in it for more than just developing football players.
Yeah, for sure. And Coach Prime also announced today that the Buffs are going to wear traditional uniforms. I think this is the first time in the 3 years he's told us what they're going to wear ahead of time. But they're going to wear the traditional, black gold look in honor of Coach McCartney, who died earlier this year. I think they're going to wear a patch as well. So it's pretty cool to see them honoring Coach McCartney.
Yeah, if you're going to announce it before once, this is the time to do it, so that everybody knows exactly why you're doing that, and it's an homage to one of the greats around Boulder, obviously. And we were both at his memorial service, and just the amount of people that he's touched in this community is incredible. And so that'll be fun. Another thing to kind of put on top of it, the excitement of it being opening day.
Yeah. Arden Walker spoke to us today, too, and I asked him about his dad played for Coach McCartney. And he said, he goes, I still know words of wisdom from Coach McCartney that my dad's passed down to me. That's pretty cool that there's that bridge from McCartney to this current team, having Arden Walker there.
Yeah, his dad was one of the H-boys. I mean, that was a dangerous group of defensive guys that wreaked havoc during that era. And so that has been one of the things, too, that Arden's talked a lot about, is that being a legacy means so much to him. And so, like you said, to have that kind of bridge to that era is really cool.
Yeah. Anything else from Coach Prime you want to talk about?
Well, I'm trying to think of we were all kind of just focused on a lot of the quarterback talk. That obviously he's got a lot of respect for Georgia Tech. It's funny, a lot of these previous seasons where there's been a lot of drama, it's always been the other coach that's conjuring up.
Yeah.
It's nice now. I think other coaches are like, Deion Sanders is not going to say anything negative about you, so don't poke the bear.
Yeah.
And so now you're starting to see these relationships with other coaches be a little bit more respectful towards Colorado.
Right. Well, and Brent Key the other day, the Georgia Tech head coach, mentioned, I don't know if he grew up in Georgia, but he grew up in that area. I think it was in the South. But he grew up a Deion Sanders fan. He goes, I loved baseball, I love football, and to have somebody like that you're watching, it was him and Bo Jackson, and so he grew up a Deion Sanders fan. Coach Prime today, he started off by saying, look, he goes, Coach Key, I tried to call you, I tried to FaceTime you, say hi. You probably didn't recognize the number, but Deion Sanders just always expressed a lot of respect for the opposing head coach, and you have to admire that.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those things. Is just a misperception about him because he has self-confidence that people then just sometimes take it the wrong way. But as we've gotten to know Coach Prime more over the years, that's one of those things that I really like going on national interviews and saying and bucking back a little bit and going, you guys have the wrong picture of the head coach in Boulder. It's not anywhere near what you think it is. And it's been interesting again this offseason with the low outside expectations that I think, what is the over-under now back down to 5.5? It's like, come on, like we've covered 5 and 7 football teams around here. Yeah. This is at bare minimum a bowl team, in my opinion.
This does not feel like a 5 and 7 football team. I'm still not. We're going to get to predictions on our next show, but I'm not quite there to say this is better than last year's team. I think it's better than the 2023 team, though, which I think should have been in a bowl game. And so I think this team is a pretty good football team. And Arden Walker, Dre'Lon Miller, they both talked about that today. Like, look, we're ready to show everybody.
It has a chance to be a better football team than last year, and I think that's the perception nationally, is that there's no chance of that happening. Yeah. That's kind of the difference that I see in terms of the expectations is that, yes, if this O-line is as good as we think they can be, if Kaidon Salter is opening things up offensively with his dual threat capabilities, if this receivers room is as deep and talented as we think it is, I mean, they're going to be able to score as many points as they did last year. It's just, as they keep saying, it's going to look differently. Defensively, you're in the second year of Robert Livingston. That group could get better. I understand if somebody doesn't want to predict that they're going to be better, but you have to at least discuss the possibility that this could be a better football team.
Yeah, I think if things fall the right way, they could be. And, it's because of some guys that we saw at the podium today. Arden Walker, I think, is developing every single year, and I think he's due for, I guess, a breakout year. I thought his breakout was last year, but maybe not a lot of people thought that. This could be a big year for him. I think Dre'Lon Miller sort of was busting loose at the end of last year. I think he's going to be an absolute star, and so I think those are a couple of reasons why I'm excited about this team.
Yeah, no question. But it really does come back to the O-line, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if
and D-line,
because we've had this conversation that the third string O-line on this team probably starts back in 23.
Yeah.
So if the first group is worlds better than any group they've had on the O-line since Coach Prime got here, then you got to like a lot of the potential, and then you look across the conference, and every team has certain question marks. It's not like Colorado's alone in that regard.
Right. I think better offensive line and a running threat quarterback. I'll take that. That's a good recipe. I think that'll do it for today. Adam and I'll be back later this week with our game preview.